Three, two, one, go, I guess. Welcome back, everyone, to Stale Air, Episode 2. I am your progenitor, your host, Lutar, King of the Tendies, Keeper of the Tendies. Joined by who?
This is Mulehead. So,
And I'm simply John. Simply here.
Wait,
Very
are you
tired.
Simply John or Average John?
Oh, you're right. I'm average John. I
Are
already
you-
forgot my own name.
You're having
I'm
an
sorry.
existential crisis where your identity is not even known to yourself.
More like I just woke up.
Dude, you gotta get up and hustle.
Well, I just moved back to my college town, and I spent the whole day with all my luggage and boxes sitting in my room while I laid in bed and played Animal Crossing. So I've yet to unpack, and I work today, so I better get that done sooner or later because classes start tomorrow.
Yeah, once this semester starts, it rolls fast.
Oh my goodness, especially with this COVID stuff going around.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've said the magic word.
We'll get flagged like we were last time. For our last video, we were talking about the Wu-Tang flu. And
Oh, that's a better name than Chinese virus. I like that. The Wu-Tang flu. Oh man.
and we were talking about it, and I guess Google has some type of auto AI system that looks for the keywords.
you can pick up when people cuss and stuff like that in your YouTube videos or specific words.
So
It's not really like they can pick up COVID.
So they put a flag on our video, a little thing that said, "Hey, if you want to get the actual real information, then you can go to the CDC website." Blah 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 blah. So that was kind of interesting.
Hey,
so I
now.
guess this video will get, flagged. Oh yeah, I feel like we should implement an tax to keep us from saying it.
Well, I'm saying because it didn't really put it that way. It more said, if you want more information, not if you want the real information. It was like, if you want some information
I mean
about
an tax, like for us, like to prevent us from saying so and so, so and so.
So, how do you?
Yeah,
propose to,
no, I get
implement
it.
that
I was saying
tax?
not because I had nothing to say, but more because, buddy, it didn't say, hey, these guys are lying. Let's get some good information here. More is like, hey, these guys talked about this thing. I don't know if you know about it, but
I'm not saying the
CDC.
flag. Oh crap! There it goes again. I'm not saying the flag said we were lying. I'm just saying it flagged us and said, "Hey, you want the real info? Don't know if these guys told you or not, but check out CDC, who told us
Yeah,
in
we're
March not to wear masks, but who are telling us now to wear masks." Anyway,
Oh man.
I was at
So
a breakfast luncheon thing for students yesterday. No one wore a mask. And everyone was,
that's what I'm worried about.
everyone was, well, I agree with, it kind of came up in conversation, and the people were saying, look, it's inevitable we're going to get it. The genie's out of the bottle. So we're not going to all just stay shut up in our homes for the next 3 years in school. We're going to, get the school experience and socialize, and what happens happens, because you have to live life. And I agree with that.
I don't know. I already had it, so I'm biased. Like saying everyone's gonna get it. Like, well, I thought I wouldn't get it, and then I did because I still find it funny. The person I got it from, like I said last podcast, was very critical of the whole response, the virus itself, and everything, and he thought it was no big deal. Who cares? It's not that big a deal. And then they got it, and then suddenly it was like, oh, okay, maybe I bet a bit wrong because they had a rough time with it. They had a lot of the symptoms you'd find, except loss of breath, shortness of breath. Thank goodness. But with me again, headache and a fever, and I just talked to someone else who had it back in. I actually say when I want to say they had it in March or April, and it was a headache, it was a fever, it was loss of taste, it was a lot rougher. They had a few more symptoms than I did, but you do live through it. But still, especially with how contagious it is, and you have to quarantine away from other people just so no one else gets it. And we're in college, so it's a lot easier and quicker to spread than just
Mm.
in regular life, I believe. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be studies coming out as college goes on saying that because studies do that. But with our school, I think yours had this too, where they will punish you if you don't. They will, give you disciplinary action against you if you. For us, how they word it is if you continue after are told to wear a mask and you continue not to, they will seek disciplinary action.
Yeah.
I've already been told. I've already been told that our seats will be marked, so far apart. So we'll sit so far apart from each other and be required to wear masks, which I'm okay with. The only thing I'm not okay with is some of my classes are becoming shorter. My Tuesday Thursday is now a Tuesday, so I have 2 days of learning in one day, which, if you're learning Chinese, is not good.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
could be stressful. That was the same way during orientation for law school. They had the area tape. Were on several chairs, and you had to sit in a chair that had the little tape marker, and you had to wear a mask, and so that kind of impeded socialization because there's like two people maybe that's within talking distance, so that was annoying. But then we all
This
went
is
to.
why you learn sign language and tell everyone to learn it
That,
so you can
that would
talk
actually be
long
handy.
distances.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I never thought about that. With sign language, you could kind of communicate over a longer distance than talking. So,
You're only impeded by the speed of light and how far someone can see.
And their vision.
how far someone can see, that's vision.
So
So
I brought up a subject. I just want to bring it up, and I don't know how we'll discuss it. I just want to at least say it. And I'm seeing it trending on Twitter in not so great light. That Donald Trump's brother of 71 passed yesterday. I want to say late yesterday, and just want to give my condolences. And I think we all should too. How much you don't like him, and I already thought about. It's like I probably should mention I don't think I'm voting for him in November, and I don't like him as a person. I still feel like the passing of a relative is very hard to deal with for anyone. No matter how much you don't like someone, they're gonna go through it just as much as you are. So, kind of feel bad that his younger brother passed, which got me. I said 71. That's his younger brother. How old is this guy again?
Yeah,
But
I had heard something about his brother in hospital or something. I couldn't find details, and the first I heard of him dying was when you mentioned it, by text. So kind of surprised, but yeah, no matter the political party, that's sad. So
Mulehead apparently doesn't care that a man's brother is
I mean,
yeah,
passed.
I guess so.
I mean, I was,
That's the
I
mule
mean,
coming out in him. Just
I offer condolences. I offer condolences as well. It's just like y'all kind of covered all the bases.
I had a friendly run-in with an armadillo this morning.
I'm glad
Is that
today's
what
turning
this
out to be
show has
eventful
come
for
to?
everyone.
Is that what this show has come to? Oh,
It's
I didn't
stale
know.
air. I never. The entire point of this is to not promise
Oh,
quality.
I had a tiny interaction with Armadillo this morning.
Says Mulehead, who sits there and doesn't say a word for like 20 minutes. Don't
To be
let.
fair, we've talked over him. To be
I
fair,
mean, I
we need to
can't
give him a
exactly just
platform.
interject anything.
You can interject whenever you want to interject.
All right.
Also, turn your mic up. I can barely hear you. You're
Yeah,
a
it's
mule in the distance.
yeah. It's if you could bray louder, please.
How's that?
That's better.
So much better. We can actually hear you. My
All
good
right. I
mule
had my mic
friend.
on low, so I was trying because
Oh, so now you can move it closer while you're turning it up. Don't overpower us, Mulehead.
no, I was just like you and me are across the table, so I'm not trying to keep it from picking up your voice too much.
So that's why there was an echo. Y'all, I am so glad I'm hours
Oh,
away and
is
I have
it's
to be close
picking
to
up an
you.
echo?
A little, not anymore. For some reason, not anymore. But earlier on, I was like, man, these guys, they're echoing. I'll leave them to it, but
Okay.
I
It must have been when it was on the lower mic, so it was picking it up more. But anyway,
When you pitched this to me, Looter, you said that this would be,
Lutar,
all
Lutar,
these Lutar. Oh,
do not disgrace my name. I'm not a
Uh,
looter.
you done made me mad.
What were you
when
saying,
when
Kevin?
you when you pitched this to me, you said that this would be, those deep, nice conversations we have when we hang out. Man, what if we had that on a podcast? And then
Oh, well, now
day
hold on
two,
just a second.
Yeah, two was like
Hold on.
had a amicable interaction with an armadillo. Like, yeah,
Hold,
yeah,
hold.
that is deep and philosophical, and
No, I
I
never
feel
said
like
this
lots
would
of
be.
ground.
I never said this would be quality. I said it's got the potential, but I'm not promising it. It's supposed to be just whatever. We start the timer and we go. So if it's garbage, it's garbage.
And you're the one bringing the garbage in. We're gonna call you garbage man.
Well, y'all,
he's
Luke,
shoveling it.
y'all just
Luke,
start talking. If y'all don't come up with something, I'll talk about the armadillo. So start. Bring this quality you keep talking about.
To be fair, me and Mulehead don't, we don't have those deep conversations. He's just, he's the cheering guy. He's the cheerleader in the back saying, "You guys go have those deep conversations, y'all.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
be here."
but
so anyway, let's get onto a more productive subject than wherever the crap we're on right now.
Chinese tariffs.
Okay, that wasn't what I was planning, but that'll work.
No, what were you planning? I'm just messing.
I was
just
actually
throwing
planning
out something.
more of something sports related, but that's just me.
I forgot that Mulehead. Everyone get used to Mulehead bringing up sports. That's
yeah,
his thing.
there's the quality for you. We'll talk about the turnover rate of the new coach at Who Gives an Fu. And at
Oh,
this place, they have a
Supply style.
tremendous offensive team, and yeah,
I actually thought more of like, okay, we're going to talk about the 1984 UGA turnover rate and how it affected student morale during the 1984, test crisis. I thought he would go more, historical, not, present day turnover rates. But, whatever you decide, I want to hear
We're
what
just
Mulehead
guys.
has to
We
say
get
about
it. If
sports.
y'all don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it.
No. I want to
bring
hear
it on.
about sports because
Bring
I
it
do
on.
like
All right.
sports.
So last time I was talking about how the Pac-12 and the Big Ten.
Don't do the. Start over.
So last time I was talking about how the Big Ten had canceled, but it was like official, not official. Saying so the next day they actually canceled it. Not canceled. They postponed, effectively canceled it, and the Pac-12 went along with them that later that day. So
Yeah, I saw those headlines. So I was watching some reruns of Penn State, and at the bottom they had a scroll of every head of the football department. I don't know what it's called. Basically, the
athletic
head
director,
person, huh? Yeah, athletic
athletic
director.
director.
Yeah, every one of them, like why they, if they agreed, if they not. I forget which one I saw, but one coach did stand out and say, "I believe that this is a foolish decision. We should, keep the games on." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're one of few, but I know there's always one. With everything in the world and everything there is, there's always one." But
Yeah,
everyone else, we agree with the Big Ten's decision. We agree that we need to postpone the season for student safety and player safety and all this other stuff. I
yeah, they
still
can.
like the idea of filling the entire stadium with cardboard cutouts. I saw
That
how
would
well
actually be
it
cool.
did in MLB.
Well, I kind of like what Korean baseball did instead. They didn't have cardboard cutouts. They didn't have the virtual fans that Fox has done on some baseball games, where it's like a little video feed of a fan.
I
In
would
Korean
love.
baseball, they put stuffed animals in the seats,
Oh, that's cute.
like
I
teddy
was
bears, all that kind of stuff.
I was gonna say I would love it and pay a lot of money extra to be able to watch a game where the stands are made up of the most recent football video game stands. So they just CGI'd or just somehow made it where those players from the video games are in the stands because then everyone can see the terrible quality that they put in those games when it comes to fans and animating
Yeah,
fans.
that's actually an interesting point because now, due to COVID, all the games have become the online games, whereas it's like the little single pane for a fan. If you actually look in the stadium,
Yeah, man. Did you guys see that clip that ran around of the baseball player who threw a ball
Attacks.
out to the?
Attacks.
Okay, the baseball player that what? By the way, if this is gonna be garbage, why not just have a bunch of ums?
Because
If
are so bad that they are below garbage. They're subhuman. Like
okay,
if you get I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the three hosts were really bad about umming and and it drove me bananas. So I came up with the idea: what if we consciously avoided fillers? Because I think that's what they're called. And if you can't think of it, you just stop and let the silence be there while you think of it, and see what happens.
all right. Two things. One, y'all need to move away from each other because I'm hearing it now. I'm hearing it. Oh, I did it, didn't it? Oh man.
You said
See, the thing
okay.
is, all right, all right. Here we go. Y'all need to move away from each other because y'all are echoing again, and I will personally come to your apartment and throw you off your balconies just to get you to not do it. So one of
I guess we're going
you,
to be in separate rooms now.
yeah, be smart about it, guys. Come on.
All right, mule, gallop on out of here.
Oh, I was gonna say you. I'm tired of you treating Mule like a mule.
Well,
You
that's
gallop
his
on out
name.
there.
I'm in a
So
permanent setup. He's
permanent
temporary.
setup. He taped his microphone down so he doesn't have to move. I guarantee it. It's just like loosely slapped down duct tape.
It's actually very similar to what Lutar's setup is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's just that he has seniority to this location.
You got that right.
He wasn't born first, I don't think. Last I checked.
No, he wasn't, but it's like I was here first.
Yeah.
You got to respect that. So I'm gonna try to move and talk.
Good luck.
This is interesting to watch.
Okay. Can you see?
What? No, I can't hear you.
All right, how's that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I could still hear the echo.
Yeah, he's fixed to move.
Okay. I thought I
Trying to see
already.
if I had to have my laptop open or if I could close it, and then closed it, it just died on me. So.
Yeah, my second point was my original point. There was a baseball player who threw a ball into the stands with cardboard cutouts, but he intentionally threw it at a kid. So
Seriously?
still going on. Yeah, seriously, I'll send you the clip after this. It's hilarious.
That sounds amazing. he just up and threw it at the cardboard cutout of a kid.
Yep. That lucky kid left with a baseball.
Did it saw it in half?
No, he wasn't that good of a player.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking, man, if a piece of cardboard and a fly ball hits it, it could put a dent in that sucker.
No. You misunderstand me. The person in the outfield caught the ball for an out and then threw it into the stands.
But it was cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Oh, so he just like gently tossed it.
Yep.
Oh, I thought he like walloped it in there.
He got so mad that there was no one in the stands. He threw it at the cardboard cutout of a child.
Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. It's a more interesting image.
He was going to take his frustrations out on a child. Well, it's Lutar.
You just used my name! And I got to edit that out. You just added like an additional 30 minutes of workload to editing this.
Sure.
Bleep it. Bleep it. No one can know the truth.
Although it's almost easier just to say it, but whatever.
No, bleep it. Bleep it. That's not too hard. Add an extra, track, and then add the bleep.
That's true.
Bleepity bleep bleep. Hey.
Oh, crap, man. Every time you do that, I'm going to have to spend more time.
Do
I
like
know.
do like some YouTubers do and do like a little plushy sound or the
Cricket. Yeah, like
dol-
the
dolphin.
Pick your favorite, or
or
have
do
it
like
different
the
every time.
or do the Trump soundbite. Hoo ha, hoo ha. I love that one. No, wait, no, that wasn't. That actually wasn't Trump. That was the bad lip reading of Trump.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I saw that there was one recently about the famous interview, the big one that everyone
Oh, I
talked
haven't
about, which
seen
I
that.
still haven't seen.
I just saw the one of the debate between him and Hillary, and it had that iconic moment where he just leans into the mic. Hoo ha. It's
I
weird, but I dug it.
I absolutely love that one clip that ran around of the newest interview, the one he did with I didn't know who the heck they were, but when I saw it,
Axios.
I was
Barstool.
maybe it's the one that where they're talking about deaths from COVID, and he shows him a graph and he says, "Oh, you're talking about deaths per population. I'm talking about deaths per capita." He said, "Well, you can't do that. Like, why not? Because you can't. We're doing great." And that's the meme I sent both of y'all of
Okay,
that
so
clip
that's
of the interview.
yeah, that's the different one. Yeah, I'm not sure who that guy was, but
Is
yeah, the
that
meme that came from that.
Axios one?
What?
Is that the Axios one where the memes format came out of it?
Probably, yeah. There's been a bunch of memes from that
Where,
interview.
where
I need to
he's
watch it.
he's handed dude the piece of paper, and the guy looks down at it and has a puzzled look on his face.
And looks back at Trump, and Trump looks back
Yeah,
at him. Yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
meme. Yeah, that's where it's from.
that's Axios interview. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, me neither. But I know it's there, and I know I need to watch it. I know the one with Fox was pretty funny. I heard there was some bits there that were pretty funny because Fox actually called him out on stuff, and I'm like, what parallel world are we in where Fox News is calling this man out on anything?
See,
But
you're
they did.
the issue is you're in such a bubble that you get a cognitive dissonance when you see Fox News criticize Trump because you have a mindset of that they're identical when they're not. So that's why you're confused. But it doesn't confuse me.
Speak.
I've watched Fox since I've been home because I've fun times in my household where my parents all they watch is Fox. There's almost nothing else ever on the television, and from what I've seen, and in the past few years, there's been very few times that network has not defended the man, even over things that I think they should not defend him over.
Yeah,
So it's amazing to see that over time they've now gone, well, we can criticize him over things that maybe we disagree with, and one of them being maybe COVID-19.
in my
I
opinion, the opinion shows kind of like Hannity and
Attacks.
Next thing you know,
so
start screaming
the
fake news
opinion
and
shows
wrong.
and the re they went again. So the opinion shows like Hannity and Judge Jeanine Pirro can be a little too. I almost did it. I almost said it. Can be a little too defensive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who really don't like Hannity, but the other woman, what'd you say her name was? Because I know the name. I
Judge,
just always
Judge Jeanine Pirro.
Judge Jennings Puro.
She's
Oh,
on
speak.
Saturdays, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
I kind of find her annoying.
you know what I find annoying? I got my top 10 list when it comes to Fox News. I'll give you top three.
I haven't even devoted
Okay.
enough
Oh,
time
oh,
thinking
yeah,
about a
yeah.
top 10.
Do y'all want to hear the latest boomer theory on the election?
You mean the post office?
No, not the post office. This is about Biden and the.
Attacks.
This is
Luthor.
about
Hold on.
This is about Biden.
I need to get a little soundboard for some type of sound for that. Anyway, keep going.
The Biden theory about what happens if he's elected and why he chose Kamala Harris.
Go.
So the theory runs that as this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Biden wins. They then oust Kamala Harris on something. That's why they picked her. she's easy to get dirt on because she has a questionable past as a prosecutor. Okay. And then they oust her. And who do they pick as a new VP? Michelle Obama. And then Biden, because he's old and it's questionable, is no longer president, however that happens. And now Michelle Obama is president.
Wait, you said they get rid of Kamala Harris how?
They'll get dirt on her. They'll turn on her.
We'll finally
Okay,
uncover.
that's an interesting theory, but why pick her to begin with?
Because they can oust her.
Oh, because she has a past that they can use against her.
Correct.
I thought the theory goes that when Biden gets in, he'll finally unleash the pedophile, demonic, Satan-worshipping deep state onto the public.
That's the deeper side of this theory I'm talking about.
There's a deeper side to the theory?
No. That's like the you start here where I am, and then you start working your way to believing the theory you're talking about.
Yes.
Because on the Michelle Obama theory, I was like, just why didn't they run her? You know, because she'd have a better chance against Trump than Biden. You know, and it's like, well, she doesn't want to lose.
It's going to be a rough few months, guys. I swear, we're going to be in a bunker by this end of the year.
Yeah, well, at this rate, we'll have an alien invasion at some point.
I'll take an alien invasion. I'll take it.
I'm seriously considering voting for that libertarian candidate just for the lulz.
Damn, that was annoying.
The
now we've truly gone down the garbage hole.
Did I say again?
Yes, you said
Okay, let me restate it. I'm considering voting for that libertarian candidate just for the lulz. Bam. Got it.
But surely not.
Oh, I'm tax.
Oh, I did it. Crap. We do. Hold on. Before we continue, we need to find a sound for the tax, because it'll be better than saying the tax.
I already know it. I don't like it. Wrong.
Ooh, that's an idea. Let me pull that up.
That's actually great. That's actually a good one.
That's a good one. Let me pull that up.
I really hope somewhere in some college in the United States. Sorry, go on.
That or some Joe Rogan clip.
Oh yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
The timing.
I really hope somewhere in the United States in some college there's some teacher teaching logic and debate, and he gives the students the tip that if you're ever losing a debate or you're confused on where you need to go, you just say wrong, and you really get into the mic and you just say it. And wrong. I just love. I hate and love it at the same time because it's a good meme and it's really funny. But at the same time, I didn't think we'd ever get to the point where that's a debate tactic in a presidential debate.
That was something that was so disappointing about Kanye West dropping out. I guess he's dropping out. I still see some stuff where he's still in it. But anyway, it would have been hilarious for a Trump Biden West debate. Can you just imagine the memes out of that?
Do you think, and here's a serious question for a very not serious podcast so far, do you think that it would pull more Republican votes or liberal votes if Kanye West was still in the race?
I think it'd pull more liberal, honestly.
Me too. I wish it'd pull more Republican, but that's just me. I think it'd be funny if like we have a third. I thank God we don't have a like tax. If we had oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
You know what? I'm just gonna stop.
Wait, what were you gonna say? Oh, you were saying
Yeah, I said
Do
it.
1 second.
You're not a nice person.
And oh, here we go.
Wrong.
What? How's the volume?
I always said it once.
How's the volume on that?
Just a hair more.
What?
Hair higher.
Higher?
Just a hair.
Hold on, let me try this.
You kind of need it overbearing.
Is that loud?
Do it again.
Wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's all right.
I love this app.
Don't worry.
Okay, I'll stop.
What I was gonna say,
Okay, keep going.
I'm afraid to now. Again, I gotta go up there and throw you off a balcony. That's how bad you're.
But hey, at least we're not, echoing anymore.
Oh, I got an interesting question. I got one that's even better than the one I was gonna pose. Which state do you think would most likely flip for? Oh, I said it
Oh,
twice.
here we go. Here we go.
Wrong. Thank you, darling.
All right, keep going.
Which state would flip for Kanye West? If you had to pick a state that their electoral votes would go for Kanye West, which would it be?
Okay,
And I already know what it
Florida.
is, probably.
obviously none, but
Florida.
if one did, either Colorado.
Florida.
What?
Florida.
You think Florida?
Because Florida.
No, not Florida. I feel like it'd be.
It's so screwed up down there.
It'd be perfect headline. I mean, instead of Florida Man, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Maybe Oregon? No, not Oregon.
Oregon? What
You're just
parallel
going
world
with
are you
the-
living
you-
in?
You're just going with the hippy dippy I'm high on weed factor.
I'm going with like there's a high percentage of hip, trendy people, you know.
I would say New York
New York?
and or California. Not only because they have a lot of population, which means a lot of idiots live in these places. So I'm sure you agree with California, maybe not with New York, but a lot. And it, I'm good at stammering, and I've learned now I can stammer, but I don't have to say the U word.
That's all right.
But these two states have a lot of people, and a lot of people make mistakes. Therefore, a lot of people are going to mistakenly vote for that man.
A lot of
if he
people would vote
kept
for
running.
him, but there's way too much political power and machines in the Democratic Party in those two states, I think, for anything like that to happen. where he
Okay,
would get
third
enough.
choice then. Third choice. The state with the most young people. The state where the population is mostly young people.
That's a good question. What state has the highest percentage? Let me check.
I was just about to say, I'm not sure what that would be.
Y'all
Probably the
guess while I
state with
look
the
it up.
highest birth rate. I won't say the state that has had the highest birth rate, which means there's been a lot of young people born.
Okay,
So I would say Mormon country.
I would
Which I
say somewhere like in Texas.
Okay, Americans' median age increased by a year from 2010 to 2018. Most youthful state in America is.
Who did that?
That's me. That's me.
I think you're supposed to do that after I say the name.
No, it's a drum roll. It's a really quick drum roll.
Let's see. It didn't tell me there. I have to go to another one.
Clickbait. Don't you love it?
This one is behind a paywall, so let me go somewhere else.
I think I'd recommend everyone to go to the great subreddit, Saved You a Click. I did it again. There we go. Hit the sound, Bobby boy.
That's right. That's right. You're fired.
Yes, that one.
Fired?
Yes.
You're fired.
That's a
The
good one.
subreddit Saved You a Click, because they go to these clickbait articles and they give you the end result. So I saw one today. Ooh, e. Ooh,
You're fired.
Thank you. You know, I think 90% of our podcast is going to be that if you just keep doing it.
I know. Well, I figure we'll set it up where it's a harsh penalty to begin with, and we'll eventually train ourselves after like 2 or 3 episodes to where
Probably
we don't
not,
do it.
but okay. Okay.
A man can dream. Okay, the state with the lowest amount of old people is Utah. So I guess that mean they have the highest number of young people? Does that math work?
What's the metric again?
Utah has the smallest percentage of population of old people. But I guess theoretically they could have more middle-aged people.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's the age for old?
65 plus. Let's see.
I mean, that might work.
State with the most millennials. This is surprisingly hard to find. All the metrics are about old people, but not young people.
Let's just all move to one state. I thought about it a long time ago. So what if I just put out a campaign that says let's all move to one state, like all young liberal people. I know you think California, but I want to take over another state.
There's actually something like that going on with New Hampshire. A lot of libertarians and similar-minded people are advocating to move to New Hampshire because its population is fairly small, and they can easily influence the politics there.
Okay, so here we go. Youngest state in the country is Utah, with a median. So half of the people are younger, half of the people are older. Median age of 30.7 years. So
That's pretty young.
Younger than any state in the U.S. The reason is, you guessed it, Mormons. They have a high birth rate, and more than half adults in Utah are Mormon. So
I actually thought I could cancel for saying, "Oh, Mormon country," but now
no, it's like that's a legitimate political science point. Is people be like, you have to factor in the Mormon equation when figuring out the politics of Utah.
That no one really likes people coming up to their doors to knock on it randomly.
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
I started a sentence with it. I tried to save myself by turning into a Teletubby. La 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 la, or no, Smurf. La 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 la. Well, I was gonna ask. I'm having a stroke. Is because you two are part of this very fast-growing religion called Christianity. Why isn't there a Christian party, like a political party that's just made up of Christians?
I am pretty sure there is one.
There probably is one, but the reason it's not a big thing is because you still have disagreements on a few social issues. Oh, crap!
Yeah, you said it twice. I wasn't going to call
you fired
because I love you, but
So there's still there's split-offs on some of the social issues. There's differences in denominational opinions on those issues. So there's not of enough coherence for a single party. Having said that, there's obviously a big influence in the Republican Party of religious conservatism. But the Republican Party is not exclusively that, so you can't say it's the quote-unquote Christian Party.
They wouldn't. They would never do that. They would never do that. I came into the city I moved back to, and one of the not posters, the billboards had a Republican candidate who said, "I am pro-God, pro-gun, and pro-U.S." And I said, that is very interesting tagline, pro. But the first one got me. That's the first on the list. I am pro-God. And I thought, how many candidates are running? I am anti-God. Let's ban him. Break law. No God. Sorry.
Sorry. What? Hold on. I am sorry. An ad auto-played, so it picked up on the mic. Keep going.
Over my booming voice, it picked up?
Wait, y'all didn't hear it?
No.
No, I didn't.
It was deafening for me. Oh, okay. Well, my mistake. Keep going.
If it's coming from the computer, usually a computer has like basically the negative version of whatever's coming out of it. So if you were to watch YouTube right now, we probably wouldn't hear it. Probably.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's how if you're on speakerphone, it doesn't pick up their voice, it only picks up yours. Interesting fact. I thought you knew.
Okay,
so technology.
I interrupted you. What were you saying?
That there is no anti-God candidate, but there are probably a heck of a lot of pro-God candidates. So I'm wondering how long until this country we have some anti-God candidates.
Well, there's no no one who runs with the tagline anti-God, but there are certainly candidates that are opposed to the idea of of a of some being a religious part of society.
A being?
I mean, a deity.
I know. Just love the way you said a being.
Yeah, I misspoke. It wasn't very plain.
Bing, bing.
Bing, bing. Bing,
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 bing.
bing. I think that one day we will see it. I think an atheist is definitely going to run. Not saying atheists are anti-God. I can attest to that. But I think one day we will probably see someone, run it and be like, I believe that there is no God and we should not allow him to even try to exist. I don't know, like a really mean fellow. And
It
what's the
probably
meanest state? There we go. That's a good question.
probably has been someone on like a local city council or something somewhere that's done that.
Seems like
sure.
I want to say a Satanist has been elected before.
Probably.
But a Satanist is not anti-God per se. I
Well,
know
I
that's
keep finding conflicting stuff on that. Like one is like it's just like a satire or something. It's like supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek thing. Then it's like other ones are like actually things.
I personally, I feel like 90% of Satanists don't actually believe what they're talking about. It's just like
Okay,
a
yeah,
meme or a rhetorical argument.
here's a dude. He's atheist and a Satanist.
Atheist and a Satanist? What?
Time magazine. He's an atheist, a Satanist, and he wants your vote. Steve
That's
Hill, Satanic Temple organizer and avowed atheist, is running for California State Senate.
that's
I
the
would say it depends on what type of Satanism there is. Because I think there's Levin Satanism, not Mark Levin, another Levin.
There was a video of him wearing a Satanist shirt
but
underneath his
how
blazer.
can you be a Satanist but not believe in Satan? Because Satan would qualify as a deity, right?
Wow,
Okay,
we're getting really into theology now because I don't think
this is what he says. This is what he says. I'm a Satanist as far as trying to get people to understand I don't believe in the devil any more than I believe in God. All of it is stupid, but if I have to tell people I'm the devil to get them to listen, then okay, I'm the devil.
I think early, if I remember correctly, of my studies of atheist history in the United States and how atheists became like a movement in a way, that early atheists called themselves Satanists because at least it was something to rally around, but they didn't quite believe in actual Satanism.
All right, this is interesting. In crap.
There you go.
Don't worry, my friend. He hasn't caught me a few times.
Here's a piece. It says, in the last few years, the Satanic Temple has tried to push Satanism away from its perception of devil worship and into politics. The group says its mission is to, quote, encourage benevolence and empathy in society while using satanic imagery to further its goals. Hill says he reconciles his atheism with Satanism by not believing in any sort of deity or otherworldly presence, and instead adheres to the Satanic Temple's goals, like keeping church and state separate.
As I understand, that's their main goal. That's like if you look at anything when it comes to Satanism in the United States, that's mainly church and state rules. Like, do you guys remember the Satanic? I forget it. We're never going to get this podcast over with. I did it again.
So they think
Satanic Temple Monument. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, here it's right here. The Satanic Temple tried to do it on Oklahoma State Capitol grounds.
It was a good fight. It was real funny too because the statue was very provocative. It was Baphomet sitting on a chair, holding up like 3 fingers, and a child was at his like knee, like looking up at him, kind of like worshiping in a way. It was very provocative, but it was provocative on purpose.
So basically, these guys are trying to make it where when you see a goat's head and a pentagram, you don't think, oh, that is creepy AF. It's actually, oh, It's the Teletubbies, I
What?
guess.
Not quite, but close. I mean,
Like they want you to see that, and then they want you to see that imagery, and then think, oh, those guys are wholesome and reaching out, and they're empathetic.
they also got in trouble for doing coloring books. So I believe yes, they're trying
I
to.
think I
They're
remember
trying.
that.
That was a funny one too. But yeah, they're trying to change the image of Satanism to less what it used to be. Early Satanism, which was devil worshipping, and now they're trying to turn into like a decent religion that just happens to use Satan as a symbol. Mainly, as I understand, a symbol of rejection from the norm, which is what Satan kind of did, I guess, rejected the norm of angels and wanted to be more. You two are good Christians. Tell me the story. Tell me
Well,
the
it's not a
story of
rejection of
how
the norm. It
daddy's.
was a rejection of righteous authority. So,
He didn't respect his authority.
but I, I doubt the pentagram's ever going to get out of its historical meaning of,
Well,
you know,
I
well
witchcraft
that
and
disagree.
satanic stuff.
and you have horror games like Outlast and Outlast 2 coming out that scared the bejesus out of people, and they're using a lot of goat and satanic imagery. Like
I
that's not really helping
Right.
them.
I just think it's got so much, the whole goat stuff and the pentagram has so much of a history.
It's so
If it
ingrained.
does get co-opted, it will take a while. It's more than just a generational thing.
then I guess I agree with you because symbols change because of time, a
Yeah.
long time. Though
Mm-hmm.
I watched a really good Vice video on the. Uh, I know I just did it. Don't even say it. I did it again. There we go. Let's see if I can get into a loop where I just keep saying it, saying forget that, and then saying it again. The
Forget that.
bio,
Forget that. Forget. Yeah.
You're fired. You're fired. Okay, you're fired.
the biohazard symbol. It was a good documentary on the biohazard symbol and how it came to be. They talked about how symbols change over time. One of them that we all know is the Jolly Roger, the skull and crossbones. Whatever that meant, poison, pirates, danger. But now, because of movies like, the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's changed to be, a less threatening symbol. So, given a long enough time, they tried to create, Dow Chemical tried to create a symbol that would last generations and would always mean the same thing. The best they could do, the symbols being so striking and unambiguous. And it was
But
a good documentary, but it does make you think how
that's a
long it takes for things to change,
that's a
like
good point.
symbols and
I mean,
ideas.
that's a good point when you think of like the 15 or 1600s. If you saw a Jolly Roger symbol, you'd be freaking terrified. Like you'd be, what the crap's going on, people? We got pirates around
Mr.
here. Fix
Be
to
like,
get,
Mr. Judge, bring me my brown pants.
yeah, we're about to get shot and looted. But now you see a Jolly Roger and it's on a kid's toy or something. So that's a good point. So I guess the only
Given
issue
enough
is
time.
the pentagram, since it's tied into religious or like second level consciousness, for lack of a better phrase, it's got a stronger significance. So it could take a lot longer and need a lot more work to get
They
it.
did talk. They talked about it in the video. They said, "Well, we have to create something that's going to last a long time. What's the longest lasting thing in human history? Religion." So they actually proposed. I know I said it. Sociologists propose that they create a religion that's whole job is to inform people about and protect nuclear sites and dangerous sites where things are kept. Because that's the only thing that lasts a long time is culture and religion. Religion, they said the
That's actually
oldest religion is, which I don't agree with this, but they claim that the oldest religion was Judaism. The beginnings of Judaism, which is like 2,500, was, I understand it, I think either Hinduism or even early like Chinese folk religions go back further, but I can't confirm that right now. I mean, you could look it up. Luthor,
Well,
the longest and oldest religion.
that's interesting. I don't know how they would propagate that religion, but that's an interesting discovery they made.
I mean, religions have been created in the last 40, 50 years. I think you two both know of Baha'i.
I do not know of that. I do know of the Rastafarians.
Or
I
this
don't know how
is
recent are they?
is the Rastafarians the flying spaghetti monster?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No, no, not Rastafarian.
Pastafarians.
Pastafarians. I'm
I
sorry.
was about to say you are really insulting the Rastafarians right now if you think like.
I messed that up.
But no, Baha'i believes that all gods are the same God. They teach basically the same ideas, but it's a newer age religion. It's not. It hasn't come out until like well, I dare to say the 80s or 90s, and there's a small gathering here where I live, and I've actually been to their meetings because they're very nice people, and they believe that all religions are the same, all the gods are the same, all the prophets are the same people in different incarnations. Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, Confucius, all these wise teachers are really under the same umbrella of that God. And that's a new age religion. It's came up in the last few years, and it seems like it's growing in some ways, but who knows how long it could last. I mean, another one, Scientology, that's become a very
Oh
large
yeah,
religion
I forgot about
in
that.
almost our parents' lifetimes. I've asked my father, have you heard of Dianetics? And he said, of course I do. I remember when it came out; it was a big deal. It's New York Times bestseller. It was a self help book, and now look what it's become. So religions can last a while, and if they're set up right and they have good teachings, they probably could last a very long. And practitioners help a lot.
Yeah, if we could just get Tom Cruise to believe in the radioactive thing, then we might have a chance. That's the Mission Impossible Fallout. That was Tom Cruise sending a subliminal message that he was wanting to convert from Scientology to the propagation of nuclear safety religion.
What would they
That's
call
it.
that?
The propagation of nuclear safety religion.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Nucleotoids?
Surely not.
Surely not. No.
Okay.
My favorite
I
proposal, there were many proposals in the video. Okay, so
Church
how
of
do
the
we make
Atom.
this thing last a long? Oh, that's a good one.
What?
Oh, that's a good reference.
Church of the
Church
Atom?
Atom.
Yeah,
See,
is
I
that a
feel like that's a reference.
yeah? I want to say that was in Fallout. I may
Okay,
be
that would make
very
sense.
wrong. Like
I,
I
w-
want to say Fallout 3.
I felt like I was getting that from something. I couldn't.
Oh
Let me
no,
look
no,
it up
no. Sorry,
real
I'm
quick.
thinking the Children of Adam, which was in Fallout New Vegas, maybe. Yeah, look up Children of Adam,
Yeah,
which
Oh.
Church of the Children of Atom,
Yep.
or shortened to Children of Atom. Far Harbor. It looks like Fallout.
yes.
They've appeared
Wait,
in
No,
they've hold up, guys, hold up. They've appeared in Fallout 3, 4, and the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4.
man,
I was going to say it was
I
Fallout 4, not Fallout New Vegas, I thought.
it literally skipped the one I said. 3, 4, this DLC for Harbor, and it was nowhere. I thought it was in New Vegas. I swear there was like Children of Adam running around, but I guess I was wrong. But my favorite proposal out of that whole video was someone saying that we need to genetically design cats to glow from radiation, and then we
I've
teach our
heard that.
children songs about the dangers of glowing cats. I love that idea so much. I will sing my kids songs of how glowing cats are scary. I will do it.
I mean, to
I
be
mean,
fair,
Golden
though,
Cat would be scary.
to be fair, why is it a big deal to let people know the dangers of
One
radiation when we have civilization? You
because
know,
one day there might not be a very good. Right now we have civilization, but even back then, like just say 300 years ago, we had civilization, but we didn't have good access to information.
but there
In
was no.
decades or 100 years from now, we might not have great access to information. And if you go somewhere where there's nuclear fuel or nuclear spent fuel stored somewhere, then someone might go there and dig it up and you know mess with it and die.
Well,
So
the thing is, though, we're at the point where we've created the technology to use nuclear material and also have wide dissemination of information. So if we lose the dissemination of information, that either means A, we're in tyranny, which in that case it doesn't matter about nuclear because whatever the government says will happen, or B, we've had some type of Holocaust-like event and most of humanity is dead, and in that case, the ratio of how many people there are to locations that are dangerous is so low that I don't know if it matters. That there's so many other bigger issues that you have to deal with.
Going out on a limb, I think they were going for the if civilization breaks down thing because that would make the most sense.
Yeah,
for
but think how minor knowing about radioactivity is when there's no civilization. Like there's a million and one things that would come first to deal with. So it seems like an interesting intellectual discussion, but seems fruitless to spend any effort on it.
I find that so interesting that you're probably the second or third person I've heard recently when it comes to philosophical ideas or discussing things like this that may mean no immediate use, but may potentially have future use. That it's pointless because, as I've been told recently, and this about killed me when I heard it because it infuriated me. You can't solve it in this room. You can't solve it by talking about it. So why even talk about it? I thought discussion's great, and you can fix a lot of things with discussion. You're not going to solve the world through it, or unless you get really good at it. But talking about it, I think, is interesting. Which you're okay with talking about it. But I'm just saying, people spending their time on this. What else is there to do?
Yeah, that's to me one of the pitfalls that you can fall into when you're philosophizing or discussing philosophy or concepts like this is it can quickly just turn into a waste of time in the sense that you're just talking about stuff and running circles, and it becomes no different than binging Netflix, except it comes for many people with a moral superiority of discussing higher ideals when in reality it's got no more impact than if you watched The Office for the fourth time.
Here's kind of I pulled up an article about, or like the paper about the atomic priesthood is what they called it. The idea of having a religion around nuclear waste locations and dangers. And the purpose was to basically preserve the information within the religion so that 10,000 years from now, kind of like how the Catholic Church has done it, preserve the information for later generations. Regardless of what happens, the theory is the religion will stay on and the information contained within will stay around.
So, okay, maybe I did not give the right context or the right way of looking at this, but yeah, it's not just, well, what if society breaks down? It's more like symbols change and information gets gets told a different way. But this information is so vital that people don't go messing around with nuclear, spent rods, that it's important for people to remember that even 1,000 years from now. So I guess it's not society breaking down, it's information breaking.
They compare it to the Catholic Church, which is basically preserved in its message for 2,000 years. So,
yeah, but that would just happen as a function of society. I mean, we don't have a religion that exists around preserving how ink works on paper, but we know how ink works on paper.
The idea is just like 10,000 years from now, what happens?
Well, also, to be fair, ink does not pose an immediate danger to you. Spent uranium rods do.
Here it is. Okay,
but the point is, we've still retained that information.
Wait.
I want to respond to Average John.
This will clear up things. This first sentence in this paper, as you call it. This method to prevent human interference with repositories during the first 10,000 years after their closure. So it's designed to where it will know all the locations of nuclear waste sites 10,000 years after they've closed and probably been lost to history.
That is interesting because I actually watched a small documentary recently about this former missile production site. And I mean, you two wouldn't have known about it, but if you came across it and maybe you want to go exploring, you might not have known, oh, wait, there's probably dangerous stuff in here. But with, the places just go defunct. I mean, there's so many places in the U.S. that are just abandoned. That's why urban exploration is so interesting and so widespread in some places because it's a lot of abandoned buildings that no one's talked about or known about. So with this, once this place becomes abandoned, really, and no one's putting new fuel in it, and it's just sitting there, and maybe it's not even manned, which they probably should man it for 10,000 years, but whatever. They have to have someone who says, "Hey, everyone, don't go there. It will
So
kill you
yeah,
if you go in there." So
yeah, the religion would basically, I guess, work somewhat. The first thing that comes to mind is Islam, which preserves Mecca and I forget the other town city's name, but they've been preserved all these years. So I guess the idea would be that this religion would have these places and they would either hunt them out or have people there to protect them or to protect people from going into them.
and maybe even then it gets more known because like, hey, what's this priest doing in there? And they're dressed maybe a certain way, and you go, oh yeah, that's a dangerous place. Don't go in there. Not because of the priest, or maybe that's what it might become, but because they guard something that's dangerous. But hopefully, the
Yeah.
United States lives long enough where we protect our own sites. What gets me is that when you think of human history, I've had this discussion with a few people. Human history goes back so long that we're celebrating our, in 50 something years, we're going to be celebrating our 300th anniversary of being a country in the United States, 2076. There are countries that have been around longer than that have fallen.
Yeah.
Rome, I want to say, fell sooner, but certain Chinese dynasties last 3 times the amount the United States has lasted, and then they fell.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea that we'll be around as a country in 10,000 years, or even humans will be around, is hard to believe. I wouldn't know if I'd even give
Oh,
the United States 1,000 years to
Here's a
stay
question for
around.
you. There, oh crap. Here's a question for you. There was a Twilight Zone that was based off this concept. Let's suppose this guy comes to you and he says, Average John, I can put you into this chamber and I can put you into a hibernation sleep. And you will be in this hibernation sleep for approximately 10,000 years. And then it will wake you up. And then after you get up, there'll be a little supply of food that will last you like 2 or 3 weeks and some water. And you have a 95% chance of not dying during those 10,000 years due to, your body just shutting down. Would you take him up on it? And it's not a time machine, so you can't go back. You can't come back here if things aren't how you like it 10,000 years from now. But would you do it if you could?
2 comments. One, I swear I've heard this plot before. Oh yeah, Futurama.
Oh,
On
it's like
accident.
a lot
ten
of.
thousand. That's exactly the amount of years he was there. Is ten
Oh,
thousand
really?
years.
Really? I've
I want
never
to say
seen it.
go look. Either it's 1,000. No, no. Wait. Either it's 1,000 years or it's 10,000 years. But it's in those. It's exact numbers.
Huh.
Someone please go look it up. And two, hell no. I'm not gonna go in some 95% chance. That means a 5% chance I'm dying. And then when I wake up, I will look either if let's say
No,
humans
no,
are even
no,
still
no, no,
alive,
no.
I'm gonna look so different
Let
than
me
every other
let
human.
me rephrase that. Let's say you won't die and you won't age, so you won't be old looking when you get out.
Oh, okay. Still hell no. I'm not gonna go to the future 10,000 years from now. The point was made to me recently that let's say evolution is real. Well, I believe, but evolution works and it works on humans. Give us 100 years. Give us 500 years. How much will we change? Now throw 10,000 years on there. You think I'm gonna? They're gonna think of. They're gonna put me in a museum. They're gonna say, "Oh my God, we found a 10,000-year-old human. We need to preserve him." They're gonna pickle me, man.
that
They'll
would
put me in a pickle jar.
that would be, I think, the problem. It wouldn't be that you could. uh, besides the fact that the world could just be, a nuclear holocaust by then or something, even if everything was fine and it was like Star Trek or something, everything would be so alien and you would be so removed from everything. I don't, it seems like to me it'd be a tremendous psychological strain. I don't know how you could do it. Can you imagine
Get
taking someone from uh, ancient Egypt? Can you imagine taking a pharaoh and bringing him to modern times and being like, okay,
that's
this
what
is this is your new normal?
that's what I was about to say. They could take a Da Vinci, bring him to today, and showing him a TV. First thing he's probably going to ask is, how is this possible? And you and I are going to just say, probably, well, so maybe explain pixels or whatever. We'll maybe try to explain everything. But certainly it's going to be, it just works. Because they're going to want to know how exactly it's done. And even you and I don't know.
And
It's so, it's, we just accept it as a part of life. But I don't know exactly how a TV works, except pixel lights up and make TV go on. That's it. And trying to explain any of this technology to Da Vinci, who is an inventor, who is a painter, who is all this, I think it would blow anyone's
and
mind
think about
from
it.
the
And
past.
think about it. That's just like 500 years. You know?
Wait, how? Wait, Da Vinci? 500?
Yeah, he was born in 1452.
How do you know this, you dictionary?
No, I just looked it up.
Oh, okay.
I knew he was in that time period, but I didn't know exactly when, so I had to look
I
it up.
thought you just knew the date. Like, you almost gave me his birthday, just like, yeah, I mean, Da Vinci, 500 years. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Wow. You dictionary. I just want to start throwing, like, people at you. It's like, Christopher Columbus, what's his birthday?
Like Rain Man, but for birthdays.
Historical figures, yeah. That's insane. I mean, I can't imagine. Go even further. I put this to you. Bring Confucius to modern times. A man who lived 2,500 years ago. What do you think he would think of one society and two all this crap we got? Because even back then, I could shoot a gun and that would be surprising because I don't think explosives were even around back then. Guns were not a thing.
Yeah, that'd
Like
be
gunpowder
crazy.
wasn't invented yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would blow any historical figure. First thing I'm showing them, it's not TV, it's not iPhone, it's fireworks. It's day fireworks. I've never seen day
No, it wouldn't
fireworks.
be fireworks. You know what I'd be the first thing I show historical picture of historical person, I mean? I'd be like, hey, look up. See that moon? We put somebody on it. A dude walked on there. That would blow their
Not
mind.
just
It's
one, not just one dude, several dudes.
Yeah.
and soon several more. We're getting there.
Yeah, some crazy South African guy put a car on there too.
Wait, is it's not on the moon?
No,
No,
but it will be. I'm sure at some point he's going to send one up there.
He's gonna get to a point where he'll drive that moon. He'll do donuts. He'll spell out his name on that moon.
Probably.
I still can't believe that we're getting to a point where soon we're either gonna go to Mars, have a moon base, or start having commercial flights into space. I don't want to know what my 70s are going to be like, but something tells me this world is going to be crazy. We're going to have
On
VR
one
chips
hand,
implanted
I
in our
agree with
brain.
on one hand, I agree with you. On the other hand, if you had that sentiment back in the 60s when they were landing people on the moon, well, 69 was when the first one. But if you had
Yeah.
that sentiment when they were landing on the moon, that didn't come to fruition. So, as far as space travel goes, I prefer to remain like it'll be cool when it happens, but I'm not holding out hope because they've been saying stuff for years.
Have you not seen the progress they made, though? Saying that back
Oh,
in 69, I get, because
oh,
69,
they've been
that,
making
you know,
progress. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's slower and there's a lot less will than what would be ideal.
I don't know. The doubling of memory, or was it processing power? What's the one where you're getting exponentially, like, more of? I want to say it's
Processing,
memory, isn't it?
it's processing power.
Process. We're getting more and more of that, and it's going faster and faster. I say give it. I'm going to make a prediction, and I've heard so many people in my life make them, and I'm sure I'm going to be wrong, just like all of them. In 20 years, we're going to have processing power that can almost match the human brain. Almost, not exactly.
You heard it
But
here, folks. You heard it here
20
first.
years.
We will
2040. Call me out.
we will have a stale air broadcast, a special broadcast, 20 years
Oh
from
my
today's
God,
date,
no.
and we will either praise Average John, or we will rake him over the coals, or the proverbial
Or I'll be
atomic,
dead.
or the proverbial atomic. Oh crap! I said the atomic uhs.
Ha ha
Church of the Atomic
Yeah, no, Average John, you won't be dead. I will make sure you live so that we can see if you're right or not. But we should
Or
probably.
I one last comment. I'll be right. You get one of these things and you name it Average John, and now he's on the podcast.
That would be interesting.
Average John 2.0.
Average John
V2.
2.0. Son, I'd like to tell you about your proverbial father.
Was he a good person, Daddy?
He was unique, son. I'll leave it at that. He went to he went to get cigarettes one day and he never came back for you.
Oh, you're terrible. We need to end this. I'm done.
All right. We've been at it for about an hour at 11 minutes. This has been Stale Air. Thank you for tuning in. We're getting better or worse at this as we go. That's up for you to decide.
We're just moving along.
But
what direction we're going in? No idea. But hey, we're going there.
We don't know what port we're sailing to, but we're making way. Anyway,
we're probably going in circles, but you know,
very likely. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Lutar, joined by
Mulehead.
Oh, and me, Average John.
Doing a great job, man. All right. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.